Hello and welcome to this two-point perspective sketching video. This is our target sketch for today, and we're going to be looking at sloping surfaces and hollow forms, non-solid objects. So we're going to start off with the freehand technique. So we have no vanishing points on the page at this point, but we do start off with as our leading edge, a vertical line by turning the page and sketching lightly from the shoulder, giving ourselves a low starting point. Now the little trick here is to get that bottom corner to roughly 90 degrees. I'm putting this bit of piece of paper on just to mark it what 90 degrees would look like. Turn the page, get that third line in, and that gives us a 90-degree angle between the two bottom edges, left and right hand side. That gives me a chance to then turn the page and give lines that are convergent going towards the same vanishing points. Now you can see how these lines are heading towards each other, but they're not on that page. The vanishing points in this case are now off the page, and that's one of the advantages of freehand. Giving it a length and thickness, got to check the vertical lines are vertical. We can again just check by eye and see if it looks like. Now these lines are going towards the vanishing points. That top edge, by turning the page, you can see the direction. 1, 2 and 3 are all heading towards similar vanishing points, the same vanishing points on the left or the right hand side. Now this is where it's going to change. We're going to go from the basic rules of vertical lines and going to the vanishing point, etc. But we're going to put 2 points for a slope. The top edge and the front edge of where the slope's going to start. Now remember, they're all going towards the right hand vanishing point. But from now on, for sloping edges, they are surfaces, they go against the rules. They have a different direction. This is the first change to the basic rule of 3. That's going to say we're going to go from that low point to the high point on the front edge. And where those same lines cross the outside of the box, we're going to put a similar line on the back edge, showing we've got a slope that is the same sort of angle, front and back. And now we're going to try and give this a shell. I'm putting a second set of scales on here by doubling the line up, by giving a double line both at the top, bottom and left and right. Parallel if you like, but there is a slight taper on the ones going to the right hand side. We can see that we've got a double line. Could be a sticker on the surface of that at the moment, and in fact I'm putting a couple of lines on the top going towards the left hand vanishing point, finishing off with a slightly squint line going to the right hand vanishing point. And then that vertical line suggests that this could be hollow. And what I'm putting in there are some internal lines. Let me just change the grip slightly and going around the outside edge, firming in first of all just the outline. You can see again turning the page that scale that's reinforced regularly. It's turning the page using the same pencil technique, say a pen technique, using the same line. So we don't have to get our arms in all sorts of odd positions to get these lines working. It's the same position. Now, having got that cut out of the back, I put a vertical line in there to show that there's a slot down the back of this. Now for the hollow. I put in what are called shadow lines. These two are not outlines, but they show where an edge would be and as a surface at the back of that we cannot see. So it reinforces a surface at the back. Now I've drawn that line down. I'm putting a little bit of a guesstimate where that inside bottom corner might be. It's slightly off, but we'll go with that at the moment. So I think from there you can see a hollow, shelled out object, 3D object, with a thickness, or several thicknesses. Now, I've got to change that bit on the description in a minute. It should say rendering. I'm going to render with a mask. Again, it's just a sheet of paper, and we're using the side of the tip of the pencil, using the render grip to head towards the right-hand vanishing point. This will be the darkest of the 3 surfaces, the one furthest away from the light source. And in all these cases, we assume the light's coming from the top left-hand corner. So the right-hand surfaces, the vertical right-hand surfaces furthest away from the light will be darker. So using the side of the tip of the pencil, we can get the darker edge in first. Then using the same pencil but pressing a little bit lighter on the edge, we can actually go right into the first area. A little bit more control, just stopping towards that slope. We can get a lighter density of that. In this case, it's a pink or red coloured pencil. Looking in there, I'm thinking what other surfaces might be dark. I think inside would definitely be a dark edge. But I'm going to start off with lines going towards the right hand vanishing point. Now because it's flipped round, because I'm working with a turned piece of paper, is to make the movement of my hand, my direction, the same technique all the time. So it does look like it's upside down at the moment. In fact, it looks kind of cool upside down. But you can see how I'm using the mask to protect this area to just be the one I'm working on. I want to work that. It's got a little bit dark there, just I pressed a bit too hard on the back of the pencil. You can see far back from the tip of the pencil this is being held to control the pressure and to control the density of the colour coming off the side of the tip. This is grip 3 in Get a Grip. This is the rendering grip. Now I'm fiddling about here trying to get something in this back edge as well, because that would also be a little bit darker. Again, using the mask, and again I'm going to turn the page and hopefully get a better orientation. That was that one back surface there. Now I'm going to go for the sloping one. There's not a lot of it, and it is sort of facing towards the right, so I'm going to go for a little short strokes in here. You may have noticed I've not actually firmed in those edges. I've put in a firm shadow line, but the difference between these surfaces on the left hand side, I've not actually firmed in an ink or pencil. It's going to be the change of tone of colour, or density of colour. It's going to determine or identify these as different surfaces. Now I may have to go over these again. I'm just freehanding in that little gap in the bottom, and I'm looking all the time to see which surface is going to be the darkest. I reckon underneath there, because it'll be a bit of a shadow of the this side, it might be a little bit darker. So I'm a little bit more freehand rendering the side of the pencil, just going over the existing rendered area and turning the page to make it easier each time. Side of the tip of the pencil held towards the middle with the finger in the midpoint to vary the pressure to allow the density of the colour coming off the pencil to change. So just going over areas, reinforcing a little bit more in terms of density, and I think definitely from what we've done from way on in first year, we just need to give this thing a firm outline, tidy up some edges that weren't quite done the first time round. You can see how the line drawing has moved on quite some way to a rendered freehand hollow three-dimensional object. You can see here again, we're just turning the page, the pencil grip or the pen grip right down at the tip to get a denser, stronger, firmer outline. Turning the page each time, it's a little bit of a cheat. When you get to some smaller lines, it's a little bit like writing. You can use the writing skills of just moving the fingers and the pencil to get some small lines in there, but it's always easier, especially at this stage. Turn the page and you're basically drawing the same line each time. You're just changing the position of the pencil. That last line extended over the red to show a shadow line where the back edge overhangs, and there's the shadow line going in again, just reinforcing that to say that there is an edge underneath there. There's also an edge at the sloping side, and there will be one at the bottom if I remember to put that in, and that reinforces the fact that there's a hollow in that space. Round outline, a little bit more controlled, more accurate, stopping in the corners, no overshoot, and this outline should take precedence, should stand out more than the construction line. So the construction line, although it's there, will tend to disappear. It's less obvious. So about 8 minutes into this in total. Just put a little bit of a line in there just because it's a little bit faint. I think I've got one shadow line I've probably missed out on this. And there, without the extra shadow line, is the end result. Have a go. When you look over your work, you can see things that might do with a little bit more definition. So just on these inside edges here, I'm just adding the same colour all the time. Now I could use a grey pencil, or just your ordinary sketching pencil, to add the density or tone to that area. I'm just going to add in the dark edge there, just to make that stand out a little bit more between the sloping surface and the inside. Have a go.